Good morning, everybody. All right, so today we're going to do a little blending, and on these colored pencils that I purchased. I got them yesterday, and I did my swatching, and the swatching I did was on two different types of paper, and I hope you can see that. Yeah, two different types of paper. The first page here, this is my go-to paper. This is a Spring Hill Bristol vellum, and it has a texture to it, and I like it. I usually print all of my stuff that I color that's digital on this paper, and then I color it. The other one that I have is this paper, and it is called Astro Bright, and 80 sheets, and it's 65 pound. I think this other one is maybe 67 pound, but I want them to go through my printer. So and I got 80 sheets of this one. So, and this is cardstock grade, and it's super smooth. So I wanted to know whether it was going to be if they were going to be different, and they are different. You can kind of see that the textured paper allowed me to get more color down than the smooth paper. So that tells you right there that the paper that you are coloring on is going to affect, it's going to have an effect. The result is going to look different. So keep that in mind. I was curious about it, and now I know. And you can see it's just a small degree, just small, but it's definitely there. And I do my layers very evenly, all of them. All of them I do a long horizontal light layer, and then I do a short 2/3 horizontal layer, and then I do the last third of a vertical layer. And that's how I do it with all of my pencils. They're all done that way. They're horizontal, horizontal, vertical. I might go over it a little bit again if I find that it's just not a decent depth. Yeah, because I want layers. I want a light, a medium, and a dark. Some of the colors, you know, you have to work on to get the light, medium. I mean, the dark is easy enough. You just give it a little more of a heavy hand. But I want a nice transition. So I want to be able to see a light, a medium, and a dark layer on these. And that's what I was able to get. And that's what I found. I found that these a little bit darker, more, I guess I should say darker, more saturated. A more saturated result in this Bristol vellum paper compared to the cardstock. That's the result of that. So I was kind of wondering, and now I know. And now you know. And in regards to the choosing of the pencils, you take more than 4 pencils out of here, they start flipping and flopping around. So it's kind of not easy to use. So I took some colors out to do some tests. So we're going to do some blending and coloring tests. But they start moving back and forth, as you can see. And I left them in the order that they came. I colored the swatches in the order that they came, instead of moving them all around, because this matches the color sequence on the back of the box as well. So I left that way. And then we're going to use my Johanna Basford's Magical Jungle book. which again I put in a spiral. If you watch any of my videos, you know about this, so I encourage you to go back and look at some of the background, the past videos I have on that. And then let's just make sure that this is in screen, because I started coloring and realized I had my camera, it had moved, and I didn't have any of it on video. So we're going to get it on video now. Of these 4 colors, I am using spring green for the center, and then I'm using lilac for the first couple of layers, because that's all that is, just lilac. With a little bit, I just started doing the violet, and then I have deep purple. So my goal is to make them look like they're rounded, so they're folding. Nice, smooth, rounded look to get that. So hopefully that is what you see when you look at this this way. So anyways, as we move forward, I get out my purple, or violet, sorry, violet, and let's do some coloring. So let's see, I'm not sure if I'm even on the screen here. Yep, okay. All right, so now we can get in here and just do some actual coloring here. All right. Now, these feel pretty good. They lay down quite nice. I like them so far. Okay, so I will be back when I get further along here, because as you can see, I do take my time. Right, and I want them to look nice and rounded. And just take your time, don't rush. Don't use a lot of pressure. Just keep it nice and light, because the way I look at it is you can always add, right? You can add but taken away, yeah, we all have erasers, but the eraser does actually damage the paper when you go to pull that color off. So you want it to get down nice and even, not looking blotchy, and just take your time. Make sure you breathe. When I first started doing this, I noticed I was holding my breath a lot. And like I said, I've only been doing this since August of 2020, when I was introduced to color pencils by randomly watching a video. I don't even know what videos I was watching at the time that a color pencil video popped up. And I'd always been using oil paints because oil paints, you know, take a while. I don't feel rushed. I don't like feeling rushed at all. So these are always there. Cleanup is easy. Don't have to worry about anything. Just make sure they're not out in direct sunlight. Right? Just take your time. If you take your time, you can accomplish a lot. And we're not in a race, are we? Come on. So anyways, I'm going to continue, and I will be back when I have this further along. Okay, see you in a bit. Just a little quick mention, make sure you get something like parchment or a spare piece of paper and use that to rest your hand on. That keeps your oils from your skin from getting all over the project that you're working on, which also will help keep it from reacting differently to the color pencils when you do start putting them down on the paper. Because what I'm doing now won't be the same if my hand is rubbing oils all over it and I start coloring over here. It'll react different. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you have something to rest your hand on. Keep it clean. This is just simple parchment paper from cooking in my kitchen, little square. So just a quick mention there. All right, so this is where I'm at so far. You can see. I mean, that looks pretty good. Definitely has the look you know, the roundness I'm looking for. I'm going to do this to the other side, same thing, and then I'm going to blend one so you have a good example of what it looks like blended and not blended. All right, and I'll be back. So here we are towards the end of these ones. Make sure you guys can see where I'm at. That's good, right? And let's see. I just put one light layer, and then I put a little bit little bit of a heavier layer over that, and now I'm just going to go over it again a third time just to get some color in here. When I'm coloring, I turn my pencil because as I'm flattening down one side, I just move it around. I seem to get more big use out of the color. Some people don't do that. Some people flatten the edge, but I don't. I'm going to work in a small area like this. I want my pencil to be as sharp as possible without sharpening it every 2 or 3 strokes. And I can get that, I believe, by rotating. So that's how I do that. Just get a nice even layer. Probably what I'm going for. Even, you can see it's just kind of, and it's the lighter color, so it's going to seem extremely light once I get the darker color down before I blend it all together. And then I go back with the light color. And then I'm going to add some white along here just to keep it from getting darker than I want it to be. That's basically what I would consider the base coat. I would consider that. Like, that's just the base coat, right? And then I go down with the next color, which is the violet. Let me sharpen that because that's a little dull. And then we're going to get that put down there. Now the darkest spots are obviously going to be where the little V's are. Anything that's got a V. And then along that edge. I hope my hand's not in the way. If it is, then forgive me for a few minutes. This. I should rotate it a little bit. And that'll help. Just go real light towards the top. So this is what happens. You know, I find that if I use a minimum of 3 colors, I can get a pretty decent, depth. 4, I can get more, obviously. But you have to make sure that you have a nice dark. Okay, a nice dark to contrast that light. That looks good for right there. So let's get some of this deep purple in here. So it just gives it such a nice warm color. I like it so far. Right. Purple, deep purple. See, look how nice and sharp that gets. No problem with getting it sharp. I don't press hard, so that tip can last a long time. See, tip lasts a long time.
So, now I think that looks pretty good. A little bit darker right in here. Yeah, like that. So, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. There. Okay, so now I'm gonna do some blending. And let's just see how this works out, huh? With the wood. So I've got my little blending stuff here. And my oil. Which I just put into the lid. And then give this wet and see what we got. See what we get. I'll do this side. Hopefully it's on screen, right? Okay, excellent. You can see. What's that? There we go. Okay, so that's one portion. Okay, so we'll let that dry, and we will come back and talk about the results. Right? Okay, so now that this is dried, pretty good, I think. I want to show you guys. Now, hopefully you can see the difference between the two of them. I don't have my screen. Hold on.
Okay, so it has now dried. So I want to show you the difference between the two. And hopefully you can see the lack of a shiny gloss. You can tell just by looking at them from an angle that the one that I used oil on doesn't have any wax buildup on it, so it dissolves the wax and just leaves the color pigment on it. It gets right into the paper. As you can see, this has lots of little specks in it. Hopefully that's nice and clear. There we go. You can see the little specks in there, whereas this one does not have any. Right? It's blended in, so it blends quite well. So for inexpensive color pencils, I'm pretty happy with them. The duplicate in the colors with my Prismas, not that I'm going to use these very much, but I'm definitely feeling like these will be a very good pencil for a beginning artist, for sure. If you want your kids to color and have a successful experience, they have to have a little bit higher grade tools. So this just shows me that these are very decent budget pencils. Whether they will be available open stock and still keep everything at its same price is a whole nother story. You know, this might be the introduction price, and the next thing you know, the prices are going to start climbing, especially if they go to open stock, because I don't have a calculator in front of me, but you know, $30 for the set. So you figure, yeah, they're pretty inexpensive. I mean, that's like less than 50 cents. That, you know, a calculator, less than 50 cents a piece, right? Because if you have 60 of them and they're $1, right? 60 and they're 50 cents a piece, then that would be $30. So they're less than 60 cents a piece. I mean, 50 cents a piece. So probably more like 42 cents. But anyways, I got them on Amazon. I paid $29.99 for them. That was day before yesterday, because I got them yesterday. And a couple of websites I want you guys to check out. I mean, not websites, well, websites and YouTubers. Website is coloringbliss.com. She's a YouTuber, and her channel is Coloring Bliss, and that's Jennifer. She's the one who has all of the swatching supplies. The other person is the one who was doing the light fastness test. That was, you know, organic, that she did on her own. She tested a whole lot of different inexpensive color pencils, and that would be Color My World, and that's Lori from Color My World. And then the other person to check out for the comparing of the colors and the color names to the Prisma set would be Coloring with Claire, because she's the one I watched originally for these. So I happen to think that they're a pretty decent set, and I don't have any problem recommending them to anybody out there who's interested in buying them. So thank you for sticking with me. Please, if you found this interesting, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to travel along this journey with me. And you have a wonderful day. Thank you.